What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Field Trips. I'm Robert Field. So I have made it to Ohio, you guys. I am working my way up to the Great Lakes, and I finally have made it to Lake Erie. I've been staying in the RV at Camp Sandusky, killer little campground right here on Lake Erie. Just an absolutely gorgeous area. And today I'm fishing with a good buddy of mine. I have not seen him in a while, but Joseph Harrick of 50/50 Fishing and Catch Fish, or Die Tryin'. We are here at a really cool area right on Lake Erie. There's basically three harbors, three little almost individual lakes right on Lake Erie. You got East Harbor, West Harbor, and Middle Harbor. We parked on this road that kind of runs through where these four bodies of water intersect. We could literally throw a stone to Lake Erie, Middle Harbor, East Harbor. I mean, we're just right here in the thick of it. We've decided to fish Middle Harbor for one big reason. Boats can't get in here. So as kayak anglers, this is where we shine. This is where our strength really starts to play. We can come fish this spot that doesn't get as much pressure as East Harbor and West Harbor that are just loaded with boats and docks and all that. So, bass is the name of the game today. There's other fish in here. We'll see what we get into. I have no idea what I'm doing, you guys. This is my first time in Ohio, my first time fishing here, obviously. I was expecting to be out on the main Lake Erie, offshore, deep water, rocky, smallmouth. I mean, that's what I think of when I think of Erie. Joseph Harrick said, I got something a little more unique for you for this area. Let's go hit Middle Harbor. And we just got in the water and it's grass covered in grass, lily pads. It's shallow. Pretty much the opposite of what I was expecting. So it's gonna take a little bit of work, dial in a pattern, but come along for the ride. We're gonna have fun, that's a guarantee. We got out here late, we missed the morning bite, but that's okay. We're gonna stick around till sunset. We got all day. I don't know if they'll be chewing, it's sunny. I don't know if they'll be chewing right now, middle of the day, but we're gonna give it a shot. And hopefully we can kind of start figuring out these fish and dialing in a pattern so that when that sun starts going down and theoretically the bite heats up, we'll know what we're doing, know what they're doing, and hopefully get some fish in the boat. Let's get after it. Start making some casts. It looks juicy. I mean, this place looks bassy. It smells bassy, actually. Let's see what we can get into. Hello, Mr. Carp. Oh, there's a bass.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a BOWFIN. What in the world? What? Oh my god. How am I gonna land this? Got some nasty teeth. Oh my gosh. First ever BOWFIN. I got nasty teeth. No, don't do that. Oh gosh. All hell's breaking loose, guys.
What's up?
All hell is breaking loose.
Bro, I just had a bass on, I lost it, but little white spinnerbait.
Yeah, I caught my first ever BOWFIN.
You got BOWFIN?
Yeah, I still got it.
Bro, such a cool fish, man. Joe had a 16-inch bass, he said, and he just caught his first BOWFIN. Look at this guy. Oh, no. Super cool species. Yeah, they're slimy, man. They're hard to... Oh, I just love these fish, man. It's so rad. He just caught one. He hit the Senko too, huh? Yep. Man, wacky Senko bite. If that's on, I'm feeling good. Yeah, I kind of grabbed their gill plate. Like, just try not to grab into their gills, you know, but just sort of where the jaw meets the gill plate. Look at that.
First BOWFIN.
BOWFIN, dude.
Prehistoric monster.
That's a cool surprise. These are one of the most ancient native species to North America that's still around today. They're closely related to alligator gar just because everything else that used to live with them is basically gone extinct. Look at that thing, man. They're such weird looking fish.
Crazy, man.
To me, they're just such a cool fish, man. They are ancient. They're commonly mistaken for snakehead and people kill them, but they're not, man. They're native and they are not invasive.
In a crazy, prehistoric way, they're beautiful.
Those things watch the dinosaurs come and go, man. Really cool fish to be holding, yeah. I'll let her go.
Yeah.
What a cool surprise, man.
Yeah, man. Fought really good, too.
They're strong, and they're like scrappy fighters.
He's been out a while.
Oh, he's good. Man, they didn't survive like 8 mass extinctions just to be wimps. They're hardy fish.
I am covered in slime, dude.
Oh yeah, they're super slimy.
But yeah, dude, blue Senkos, but I just caught 2 fish on.
Figuring something out.
Yeah.
What a cool surprise.
Look at that.
What happened? Oh, dude.
Mangled that.
Look at that. Bent that hook like it's nothing. They're gnarly fish, man. They got such bony mouths.
It's a strong hook, too. It's a big hook.
Woo! You made you work for that one.
Crazy.
That is awesome, though, man. I'm jealous. I want one.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Yoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Finally. I mean, I've been watching 3 or 4 bass. This is probably the smallest of the group. Cruise around my boat. There's bluegill everywhere. Hundreds of bluegill within 20 feet of me. And these bass have just been cruising, prowling through this grass. And finally, I switched to the weightless fluke, thinking that's a good little imitation of bluegill. If you watch bluegill behavior, they kind of dart and pause and dart and pause, which is exactly what you can do with the weightless fluke. And I mean, just beautiful fish. Mark him in the angler app. Like I said, there were like 3 more cruising right around my boat. Take a quick picture of this gal and see if we can't pick up some more, but starting to figure out a bit of a pattern here. But it's always so advantageous when you can stand up in your boat and watch these fish and kind of see what their behavior's like. And they've been cruising around like they're hunting, like they're looking for something. And I can't get it done on the Senko, but there it is. First fish on the weightless fluke. Don't tell your buddies, I'm coming for them next. Nice, what a cool fishery. This is such just like a cool ecosystem. Standing up and watching these bluegill, they're hitting little bugs on the surface, and these bass are just prowling in and out of this grass that's just everywhere. This whole lake is just loaded with grass. There it was. That was maybe 4th cast right here with this fluke. Got it done. We're gonna stick with that, replicate that pattern, and see if we can't replicate that success as well. But he hit it pretty aggressively, so it makes me feel good about the presentation. Just a little watermelon red, weightless fluke. This should be a staple. If you don't know how to fish this thing, I'll show you right now. But this gets bit when nothing else will. It's like the Wacky Senko in that regard, that it just gets it done. But like I said, there's 2 or 3 more in this area. I'm gonna see if we can't yank a couple more from right here. I'm looking at a bass, looking at my fluke. I didn't want to hit it. So basically with this weightless fluke, you're throwing it out, works great in shallow water. And this thing will just slow fall. Oh, there's carp. And I just give it kind of a tap, tap, tap. Just these little twitches, and then maybe a 1 twitch, but you're just twitching it, you're working it. Kind of like a jerkbait. Oh. And if you're able to stand up and watch your bait, basically this thing all of a sudden looks like a fish darting in and out amongst this grass, this hydrilla that's all over. So it's just a very, very natural presentation, and just kind of perfectly imitates a skittish little bait fish or bluegill, which is, they got to be gorging on these bluegill. I'm looking right now at 100 bluegill. You know, I go with the paddle tail first, because I'm always hopeful that they'll chase down a paddle tail. It's a much easier thing to fish. You don't have to think so hard about what your bait's doing. Oh, Lord. Pretty sure it's got a bite. You're just steady retrieving a paddle tail, you know, but look at that, got him. It was just sitting there on the bottom while I was talking to you guys. I wasn't even moving it. And she picked it up off the bottom. Look at that. It's working, guys. It is working. Fish number 2 in the last few minutes. All right, y'all. Consider that pattern, I mean, pretty much dialed. I haven't moved a foot since I caught the last fish. I've been watching these fish cruise, and they obviously are willing to hit the fluke. Look at that, you guys. We are figuring something out now. Phew. So like I was saying, I always start with a paddle tail just because it's so much easier to fish. You're always tight to your line, to your bait. So when they hit it, you know it. It's an easy way to hook up. The fluke's a little more tricky because you often have slack in your line. Like right there, she picked it up and I didn't even know it right away because I was just talking to y'all and not moving it. But this thing had darted around in and out of this grass, flicked up to the surface a little bit, looks just like an actual bait fish. And then all of a sudden it slow fell while I stopped moving it, talking to you guys, and she came and just slurped it up off the bottom. I actually picked it up I was gonna twitch it again and there was weight, set the hook and she was on. That's working there. And now since she picked it up while it was sitting still, that tells me that I wanna pause more often and pause for longer. It's sunny, the water's pretty clear here because of all this grass. And so they're gonna be a little spooky, a little more skittish, and they're gonna feel much more comfortable picking up an easy meal. It looks like an injured bait fish up off the bottom or as it's slowly falling down than they are to aggressively attack it as it's moving real fast. So I'm gonna kind of slow this presentation down a bit based on that last bite. And that's the key in bass fishing, you guys. Every bite, you should learn 5 things about what the bass are doing easy. I mean, you should, if you're really paying attention and thinking about it, these fish are telling me right now what they want, how they want it, and where they want it. And as long as you listen and adapt and change your strategy for that, you guys, you're gonna catch fish wherever you go. You know, I've got this kind of perpetual challenge of fishing places I usually have never been before, like in this case, the state of Ohio. And so I come into these trips just completely blind and clueless. So it's imperative that when I get a bite, that's my chance to learn and adapt and try to get more fish in the boat. And right now it's working, and I was rewarded with fish number 2 just a few minutes after my first. So, oh my God, there's another bass, dude. They're all in here. Got him, got her. Watched that whole thing go down. I just sight casted her. Oh my gosh. Yes, that was so sick. That was so sick. And she's good too. You guys, I just cast at this same bass and one just like her. Look how healthy all these fish are. Look at the bellies on these things. That is a good fish. Oh my gosh, mark him with an angler app. You guys, I just spent 5 straight minutes casting at this and her twin, which is right next to her. I threw the weightless fluke. They were looking at it, even following it, kind of giving it a little sniff. Take a picture for the angler app, and wouldn't hit it. So I grabbed the wacky Senko. I've been real slow. I could tell that they saw me. They were even tracking my boat as I was drifting. And threw the Senko in there. Again, they both looked at it like they wanted to, but just wouldn't do it. Then just now, I picked up the jig, kind of my last ditch effort, thinking maybe they would hit a jig if I landed it right in front of their face. And sure enough, the second it hit the ground, I landed it right in front of her face, and I just saw the subtlest flare of her gills. And even though I didn't see her actually pick it up, I knew that was her inhaling it. And I mean, the second it hit the bottom, I can't say enough about how freaking awesome that was. Healthy bass, y'all. Oh, what a beauty. There she goes, cruising right up into that shadow where she feels safe. So I actually had this jig ready to go up here in case I saw a bed, because Joe pulled one off of a bed earlier. But now I know that if I get a chance to sight cast at one, this is not a bad idea. So I will remember that. We are learning stuff with every fish, you guys. Remember that. And keep this guy handy for the rest of the day, really. Whether I see a bed or just see a fish, that may be the ticket for sight casting these gals. But nice, getting on them now. Joe went over that way. I don't know if he's getting on them or not, but I am. There's a ton of fish cruising this. Like, I don't know if you can see, but all that white cottony stuff is all crazy on the surface here, but not here. Basically, it's because that hydrilla that comes to the surface is all matted up. I know there's fish up in that. It's just really hard to fish. It's just too thick to effectively work a lure. So this little gap between the bank and there is this perfect little grass flat where the fish in here are coming out and hunting all these bluegill I'm seeing, and then they're moving back in. I've probably laid my eyes on 12 bass about that size in the last 25, 30 minutes since I caught that first one. Like, there's a ton of them in here cruising this one little area. I'm sure there's some in other places, but hey, if it ain't broke, I'm not gonna fix it. I'm gonna stick around here. I'm gonna stand up and just be real methodical and slow with my movements and see if I can't catch some more. Like I said earlier, sitting down really is probably gonna get me the most bites, but I just can't resist the urge to stand up and sight cast a fish like that. Like, that is a blast. That is a blast. Let's get back after it. Let's get some more. There's more to be had, for sure. The key, if you're gonna stand up and try to sight fish like this, you really just gotta be slow, methodical, and relatively quiet. And you stand a good chance that even if they see you, they aren't scared of you. I got a little guy looking at my fluke right here. He's chasing it, but just doesn't know if he wants it. He's just a little one though. I want these bigger girls that are cruising. Oh, good fish, good fish. Good fish. Looking right at it. Nope, didn't like that. So let's go with the 2 of the 1-2 punch. Where'd she go? Yep. That is a good bass. That would probably be the biggest one I've caught yet if I can get her. She's spooky, she's skittish. Basically what I'm doing is I'm landing it way away from her and trying to drag it to her so that plop doesn't scare her. This is like red fishing the marsh 101. That's what this feels like right now. Sight casting fish in a foot of water. That would have been big fish so far. That was a good one. I don't see where she went now. But I'm gonna wait because they're cruising around. She'll be back. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun right now. You can't beat sight casting. It's just a whole different experience. Catching a bass just, you know, blindly casting with educated guesses on where to cast is fun. But catching a bass when you get to play your lure based on their reactions and behavior, it suddenly feels like you're really making it happen. It's not just dumb luck, but that you just twitched it right or paused it long enough or did whatever to entice that bite. And it just goes to show when you're not catching fish, like, don't think that there's just no fish around. That is rarely the case. There's bass everywhere. Like, I've now watched 5 different good fish look right at this very finesse, subtle presentation and be like spooked by it. And you just think about when you're not able to see your lure, imagine how many fish are coming up and looking right at it. They're just not biting it for whatever reason. And that's where it really becomes important to pay attention to what you're doing when you get that bite and what you were doing a little bit different, because whatever that was the difference, and it made them bite. And usually if it'll do it for one, it'll do it for just about every bass in the lake. So notice that they're spooky, got bluebird skies. God, dude, that's a monster bass. Please, eat this thing. God, she spooked away from it. That is such a good fish. That's the same one, I'm pretty sure. I wish I could really show you guys what this is like watching these fish. I just know the glare is messing it up. Oh, I want that fish. She's spooky though. She's smart. She's bigger. She's older. She's wiser. She's not as quick to slurp this thing up. She's wary. I think she probably has seen me, but she's still showing interest in it. So I feel like she'll hit it. Man. They're in here, y'all. There's a little group of carp right there. Right here under the boat. I don't know where she went. Yep, I still see her. She's way up there now. Oh, I see another bass. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Yep. You guys, I just hopped that jig up off the bottom and that fish came out of nowhere and annihilated it and broke me off on the hook set. I don't know how that just broke. Wow. Well, that's the second bite on the jig in the last 4 casts, both sight casting. I still see a fish over here. Oh my goodness, you guys, she wanted that. bad. I need to get another jig tied on as soon as I make a cast at this old girl. She just bit it. She just bit it. But I was too slow on the hook set. Actually, I think I was too fast on the hook set. But she bit the fluke. I watched her do it. That is a good sign. Man, you guys, we're figuring something out now. Oh, I cannot believe that fish just broke me off. That was a giant. This one I'm messing with now that just bit the fluke is not as big, but man, that girl just took my jig and ran. I loved that little jig too. Oh, you guys. Now I'm having fun. Welcome to Ohio, baby. Now we're having fun with these fish. And this fish hit the fluke as it was falling again. As I paused it and just let it sink down, that's when she came in and hit it, which is good to know. Okay, I'm gonna retie a leader, get a jig tied back on, because that's what the big girls are wanting. God, that fish came out of nowhere and absolutely crushed it. I got the jig tied back on, a new one. This is basically what I'm throwing. It's getting it done. Oh, I see another one. They're everywhere. Got him, got him, got him. Oh my gosh, this is fun. Sight casting these bass in 2 feet of water with the jig. I could do this all day, for sure, for sure. And look at the caliber fish we're pulling out, you guys. Look at that thing. Look at the shoulders. Look how thick that fish is. So I'm landing it far away and then dragging it and then just bringing it right over their face and letting it drop, and you'll see them. They'll go down and they'll be staring at it, and then I'm just giving it the subtlest jiggle of the rod tip, just making this skirt dance just a little bit, and I watched her very gently pick it up, wham, set the hook, perfect hook placement, right where you want, top of the jaw. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's the Excite Baits Raptor Tail Chunk. Great little jig trailer. I love this thing. And there's more. I'm looking at a bass right there, but look at this, you guys. Mark him in the Angler app. Every fish I pulled up so far has been like this. Like, they're just all toads in here. You can tell with all this bait, all this bluegill, they are just munching in here, gorging themselves. You guys, I can't express how much fun I'm having right now. This is a good time here. I did not know what to expect coming up here to the Great Lakes. This was definitely the opposite of it. I mean, I just did not think I'd be sight casting fish in 2 feet of water on grass mats with a jig when I came up to the Great Lakes. What a treat, what a pleasant surprise. Oh, she was in a hurry to get out of here. Gosh, and they're such good fish. Oh, I'd rather catch one fish this way sight casting than catch 100 blind casting on something boring like this, you guys. Whew, Middle Harbor, y'all. Come check this place out. This is a hidden gem. I mean, to be able to sight cast standing up, fish that close with bluebird skies in this clear water, it's really kind of blowing my mind right now. Like, and I can tell it's because these fish don't see a ton of lures, they don't see a ton of people, and you know, not having a motor, we're just stealthy. Like, this kind of body of water is really where the kayaks shine, and that's why we came here. And oh my gosh, so far it's just, what a blast. Between Joe's little bonus bowfin, such a cool catch, and now to be catching them like this, like, I'm in hog heaven, y'all. And I'm in hog heaven. Apparently there's nothing but hogs in this water around here. I see another little guy right there, and it's almost like, nah, I don't even want to. It's like a pound. Why would I even waste a cast? Let's go find some more big girls. Got him. Yeah.
Fish on. Let's go. Solid all day.
Got him. Just a baby. Nice, Joe following up with another one of the Wacky Senko.
That wacky. Yeah, he's a little guy. He's a little chunk though. Where's bud?
There we go. And I just tied on that paddle tail. That was the very first cast with it. And there it is. So that's promising. Promising start for that bait.
That's a good one. I need you in. That's a good one.
There we go. All right, well, came over here to the other side of the lake, the other side of Middle Harbor. It's a lot more of the same. There's a lot more wood on this side and some rock. I'm getting nothing. Zero action on any of that. So I just found another area with this matted grass on top. I mean, very similar to what we were fishing over there. Started throwing the fluke again, and there we go. Another fish. I mean, just a little guy, but makes me feel good. It's been, gosh, probably an hour since my last fish. Yep. That was pretty much a topwater bite on the fluke. Came up, swirled on it when it came up and kissed the surface. Not a monster. Gosh. But Mark him in the angler app. Remember this spot. Totally different area than I was fishing earlier. And there we go. Back to the fluke. I was throwing the frog, I was throwing the paddle tail. They don't care. They don't want to hear it. In my experience, you can bang your head against that wall and try to force feed bass, whatever you want. But probably they're just gonna laugh at you. You're gonna have a slow day of fishing. They definitely want the fluke. They're willing to eat it all day. I think I may just throw this the rest of the day. As bad as I would love a bowfin blow up on top water, it's not feeling in the cards, and I'm not seeing obvious predatory strikes on the surface either. So it's not like I'm seeing a bunch of topwater activity and can't get them to bite it. I'm really not seeing that. I mean, it looks like they should be, but what I am seeing is them eating my fluke.
Oh my God, Robert. Giant, dude, giant.
Yeah, I hear it.
It's a giant. Oh my, this is like 6 pounds, bro.
Sounds like Joe's on a good one. Take your time, dude.
Why don't I have a net?
Yeah, I got a net. I could toss it to you if I get there in time, but here at the end of the day in a new spot, Joe's on a good one. He says it's like 6.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
What's that on?
Senko, man. I caught about 5 over there on a Senko. I'm so scared. Don't you dare, don't you dare. Oh, she's barely hooked.
Oh man, that is a good fish, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, buddy, dude.
Nice work.
That is a stud. Yeah. Look at that. That might actually be 6, bro.
That's a great fish, man.
Oh my God.
I've been waiting for this sunset bite to turn on. There's a little something.
That's a pretty fish.
Ooh-wee.
Oh yeah. Dude, that was sweet.
I heard the explosion, man.
Waiting for that fish all day, man. Just catching dinks. Finally.
That was a great fish, dude. What a killer way to, I mean, we ain't over yet. We got a little more light, but.
Oh yeah, man. Look at this grass. I feel like we're in Florida.
It's crazy.
Like 100 times a day.
You drop me off here blindfolded, tell me I'm in Ohio, I'm gonna argue with you till the cows come home. No way I'm gonna believe that.
Right.
Nuts.
Try and catch some redfish in here.
Beautiful, beautiful spot. And beautiful fish, man. To top off an already killer day. Whew. That ain't ugly. Yep. Yeah, bro. I was literally just taking a video of the sunset for Instagram with the rod in my hand, and when I finally picked it back up, she was just running away with it. I had no idea. Wacky Senko. So Harry just hooked that stud. I threw it on. I've just made a few casts right up along this grass. This just beautiful. This place is just so pretty right now, but yeah, pretty good one. And just so fat, man. Golly. So much fun. I didn't even know I had that fish on. Woo-wee. The Wacky Senko, folks. If you follow the show, you know how much I love that thing. I was just telling Joe, it's so funny. He's like, I never throw the wacky Senko, but I've been killing it on it today. And I always throw it and have not been throwing it today for whatever reason. But that right there is like the perfect example of the beauty of wacky Senko fishing. I literally cast that out and then whipped out my phone and was just messing around filming the sunset. And when I got done 25 seconds later and picked my rod back up, I had a fish on. It catches them for you. Like, takes all the work out of it, really. It's really most effective when it's falling or when it's just sitting there on the bottom. Big girls will pick it up. And there was a good example. See if we can't rip a few more out before we lose this light. There we go. There we go. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah. Good one, man. Yep. Not life-changing, but good fish. Oh. Not wanting to come in. Oh, come here, girl. Come here, girl. Get out of that. Oh no, she got me in something. There we go. There we go. I do have a net. I haven't been using it today, but yeah. Hee-yoo! What a day. What a place. Middle Harbor, y'all. If it ain't on your list, put it on your list. Bro, fought so hard too, man. Trying to get up all in this grass. Y'all, loving Ohio here on trip number 1. Lord have mercy, this has been a good time. And we aren't done. Get some quick pics of this gal. Get my bait back in there.
Dude, I just caught 5 fish and 5 casts over there.
5 fish and 5 casts. Yeah, they're just, I mean, that's like, I've caught 5 just like that. Like, you guys, one after another. Ding that guy in the angler app so we can remember this spot. These bass are like thick up here hunting in all this kind of reedy type grass. I mean, we just started fishing this last 30 minutes. Obviously we're running out of light, but just what an incredible day. I've lost count, man. We've caught so many just good quality, healthy fish like this one.
Tank, man.
Yeah. How fun was this, man? Ooh-wee, smooth as butter. Rad, dude. What a spot. Yeah, figures. Got him. Just a little one. My line just started moving to the side. Barely bigger than the Senko, homie.
Dude, I'm on my last one too.
That was it.
Huge bag back in the truck, but...
Of course. I got some white ones, but I don't have any more black and blue. Oh, I got June bug. Probably good. I mean, we don't have much time left. With the water being so clear and bluebird skies, and like you said, normally when I encounter that, you can't get them to eat anything. And I mean, it's not like they were just hitting anything, but if you presented it just right, man, they were willing to play today. That was so fun. Oh, I reckon I got you. What, you're saying that's not how it came? Lord mercy. They need like a little knife, like a little cutter on there.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. Before you, hold on, homie. This is a dangerous spot to be in. All right, you guys, well, that's gonna do it. We're out of daylight. Unfortunately, I mean, I could sit out here all night and do this. Like, we just killed it. Absolutely slayed them. It's really hard to concentrate while you're doing donuts around me, bro. Big thanks to Joseph Harrick for inviting me out here, even though he had never done this. I mean, we just killed it. Check out Joseph on YouTube, Instagram. It's 50/50 Fishing. He also runs Catch Fish or Die Trying. Check it out. I got links down in the description to all that. Hope you learned a little bit of something about how to catch bass in the middle of summer in a place you don't know anything about. We kind of walked through and talked through and worked our way through dialing in a pattern, figuring out what these fish wanted, and it worked out. It played out just beautifully. It's not often I don't sound like a complete idiot when I'm trying to explain how I find bass in these places, but incredible time. We're not done here in Ohio. I'm staying at Camp Sandusky. We got plans for walleye out on Erie. I think we're gonna link back up with Joseph here. Maybe do smallmouth on Erie with his dad on his dad's boat. So lots more coming up from Ohio, and then I'll be basically making a tour around the Great Lakes for the rest of this summer. I'm super stoked. It could not have started off better. What a killer first trip up here. Yeah, come along. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much. If you dig the content, please subscribe. If not, I forgive you and love you anyways. This was a blast, man.
That's fun, man.
See you guys next week. I'm hungry, man. Tired.
Do you have any camera?